What do we do with alts? What do we do with alts? To what eye level do I boost an alt to? Benefits of having the same alt, and what are the most efficient alts? Okay, and this all sort of ties up into what do we do at endgame? Okay, so first of all, what do you do with alts? So first off, alts funnel all the mats they earn from Chaos Dungeon and Guardian Raids into a main or another alt. We'll talk about that later. Why another alt? Everyone's got like their one main right now. Everyone's got their one main. Everyone's got 5 alts probably. Why 6? Because that's the free to play limit, and also you can only earn gold on 6 characters. So that's the go right now. What's everyone's alt at? So the easiest eye level to get all your alts to right now are 5 alts at 340. 5 alts at 340, that lets you do the 2 Vernabyss dungeons, gives gold, and it also gives you a nice epic set that you can to increase your combat efficiency, gives you damage and attack speed, all that stuff. Also, every day you do your 2 Chaos Dungeons, 2 Guardian Raids. These both give weapon fragments, guardian fragments, or armor fragments. And in the case of Guardian Raids, they give tradable leap zones. Chaos Dungeons don't give tradable leap zones, so that's important to know. Also accessories, but they're kind of losing value by the day. But right now, if you have 5 alts at 340 and you're doing Limrus, if you're doing Limrus right now, that generates a fair bit of leap zones that you can sell in the auction house, which equals gold. So all this can generate gold. That's gold there. Why stop alts at 340? To farm Limrus. Limrus is the second T1 Guardian, and it's just a really efficient place to be. Doesn't require much investment. Also, you can do the Vernabyss. And what else? So what about Una Dailies? What do you do on your alts for Una Dailies? Well, you got a few options. 3 options. You can either farm Leapstone quests, Leapstones, to push your alts later. So this is actually important. This is actually important because ideally you want to push your alts eventually to higher item levels so they can earn more resources, earn more gold, and eventually get them into a higher tier. If you get them into a higher tier, you're making more money and you can funnel more mats into your main, who's probably like ahead of you. Your alts. 3 options. You can also do reputation. So like Tuki Island, because it takes 30 days to get Giant Heart. Also, it doesn't give leap stones for your main, so you'd rather an alt do that. Or Pato, that's like another one, right? Pato, that's for the ship. I can't remember what Pato gives, but it gives something decent. And the last one is Lopang Dailies. Lopang Dailies give shillings. Silver. So you will need a lot of silver. When they're in T1 and 340 eye level, they don't earn that much silver, so you kind of might not want to do this. I actually recommend these 2. So either make them do leap stones or reputation. As for your main should just be doing this. Your main should always do leapstone dailies. Okay, always. Same as weeklies. So weeklies and dailies, make your main always do leapstone dailies. And the other dailies include. So Procyon Compass, which include Adventure Islands. So Procyon Compass is this thing here, just in case you don't know. So under your minimap, there's this thing here. This icon here, you click this. It tells you what's available for the day. For today, I've already done the field boss, but there's also the Chaos Gate. Chaos Gate is super important, and I'll show you later why. You want to do Chaos Gates to get Chaos Gate maps. Chaos Gate maps are so essential right now. Chaos Gate maps, if you do them in a rotation, can net you a lot of gold. It gets you this stuff right here, these pouches, and you can sell them for a lot of gold, okay? So there's that. Procyon Compass, make sure you're doing this. Adventure Island can give gold. Can give runes, skill runes, other things. Chaos Gate gives you those Chaos Gate maps. Field Boss gives you adventure book completion and materials. And here's the alarms, so you can track the Chaos Gate. Fuck, I'm gonna get the Chaos Gate. Wait, DPS Pala? Yo, I'm gonna make an all Paladin static. Are you down? DPS Pala static. So mid-discussion, I just realized that I had a Chaos Gate that I had to go to, so this was like a perfect segue to demonstrate what Chaos Gate map rotations are, and unfortunately I only get a blue map here, god damn it. I got a fucking blue map! When you do Chaos Gates, you get these treasure maps, and you want to make sure that you do them in a party. Now, typically, you make sure every party member has a map, preferably of the same quality. To be honest, they don't have to have a map. If you're really generous, you could bring them along. But to be honest, this is how you make a lot of money, guys. These are called map rotations. If you've played PoE before, then you'd be very familiar with this concept. Map rotas and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so check this out, guys. So when you do, this is a tradable bag. I think they're going for like 180 gold right now. So make sure you're doing Chaos Gate to get Chaos Gate maps and you do these rotations. So much gold to be made, guys, especially with those Harmony bags and those upgrade materials that you can use. A lot of gold to be made here. So don't solo maps. Please, for the love of God, do not solo maps. You're wasting so much gold. Get your friends gold. If anything, just share it with your friends at least. Even if they don't have maps, please just share it with 3 other friends so that they can get some gold and materials too, okay? Those are Chaos Gate map rotations. And that's why Chaos Gates are so important. Also, you can get like a Raid Rune. Raid Runes are so good. Back to to the discussion, guys. So that was a demonstration of Chaos Gates and map rotations. So Chaos Gate. And the other dailies include Procyon Compass. So Chaos Gate, treasure maps, rotas. They're called rotas, basically. Rotas. This is a term I heard in PoE. That was the common term. Map rotas, right? Rotations. Map rotations, you got Field Boss, you got Adventure Island, and Ghost Ship, okay? So those are all your dailies. So those are all the other dailies, okay? So we talked about what I love to boost all your ults, 340. Now, something interesting to know is at 802, so when you get to T2, at 802, you get research in your stronghold to reduce T1 upgrade cost. T1 upgrade cost. What is that exactly? You get 20% increased success chance. Also 20% reduced XP enhancement. So shard requirement, like Harmony. At this point, when you get this, once you get this, consider upgrading ults to T2. More leap stones. Leap stones are 100G plus right now in T2. At the time of making this video. So the faster you can ult to T2, the better, right? So eventually, you want to try and find a nice balance between funneling all the mats and all the gold you make from selling mats, either into like another alt to get into T2 or your main. So consider that as well. Now we're going to talk about benefits of having the same alt. So what are the benefits of having the same alt? So benefits of having the same alt. So someone asked me this today. It's a few things. Okay, you can share because you know when you learned engravings are shared. Okay, so your class engraving is shared. So this becomes very, very efficient, especially later on when you have like your legendary engravings. So getting your legendary engravings max is really, really expensive. You can save a lot of gold that way and make powerful ults that just clear content really easily. Also, gems are shared. Example, sharing a level 10 gem from your main plus 40% tilt damage to a Pepega ult. So it's huge efficiency here. And the last thing is shared tripods. Shared tripods, you can transfer tripods to crafted gear and give it to your ult. So maxing out your tripods is actually a big thing later on in endgame to min-max your damage. So those three things, gems, tripods, and engravings. Is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, actually, also here's the other thing. One more thing. If your class is very high in demand, like expensive class accessories, class engraving accessories, big profits on lottery drops. So example, +3 class engraving, or like even a +5 class engraving, +3 grudge accessory with a good stat. Let's say blades are gonna be super popular. If you get like a +5 or even a +3 class engraving and +3 grudge, that's big money right there. For example, for blade, remaining energy, huge money, and increases your likelihood of getting one of those accessories if you have multiple of them. So what else is there? What are the most efficient ults? So while we're talking about this, to have multiple of the same ult, some really efficient ults are scouters or machinists. Let's do this. Efficient ults. Scouters, machinists, as well as Shadowhunters. Impulse build, transformation. What do they both have in common? They're both transformation classes. Only need one gem, one damage gem to buff entire damage kit. So Scouters and Shadowhunters are unique in the sense that they only need one gem to buff their entire damage output. So they're really, really cheap. They don't even really need that many tripods, really. They only need tripods to like increase their gauge gain, how fast they go back into transformation. So Scouters, Shadowhunters, really efficient ults. They do really good damage and they're cheap to build. As well as supports, they need a minimal investment to be effective. Yeah, and I guess one more gun, we can just put Gallant in there. Doesn't use many resources, i.e. feathers and potions. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of like efficient ults, the benefits of having the same ult, saves you a lot of gold while making your ult really powerful. And we talked about, the various dailies that you can do. What should you be doing right now? So general goal, to wrap up, recap, general goals. Get all ults to 340. Farm mats and gold, sell mats for gold. And then get your main to 1802, get the research for upgrading T1 ults, get ults into T2 ASAP to farm more mats, and so on. So it goes on and on and on and on, okay? So eventually the end game is of all end gaming goals, get everyone to 1340 plus. Why? Oreo dungeons. I don't know what it's called exactly. Huge weekly gold. And that's it. That's basically where we're at right now. And yeah. But that's it right now. That's it. And one last thing, guys. One last thing. So I get this question a lot. Okay, I've been getting this question a lot in YouTube on the comments. Like, okay, I've got my character to 460 or 580 or whatever, and I really want to swap mains, but I've already done all the islands. I've already done all the islands that give all the materials. I followed that Maxroll guide that Cholicious wrote. Amazing guide, by the way. Holy shit. Really good guide. Look, guys, there is a number of options. First things first. So if you want to swap mate, if you're really close to tier 2, if you're almost at 800 eye level, I 100% recommend that you keep on doing your daily dailies, your chaos dungeons, your guardian raids, try and get to tier 2. Try and get to 802, because when you get 802, you get that research, okay? So if you do want to swap mains, it's going to be far more cheaper, far more easier. And the other thing is, try, if you want to swap mains now, okay, so now you've got this high eye level character for 60 or 500 plus, do as much as you can in the tower. You can max out the tower at 540 eye level. And when you do that tower again on another ult, you actually have a crap ton of upgrade materials that you can select from. Okay, other thing is you can do chaos dungeon, infinite chaos. There's a vendor there, gives a lot of materials, and this is like a last resort. Okay, this is a last resort. Make sure you do dailies and all your other characters first. Do, like, you know, chaos dungeons and guardian raids to funnel all those mats into your new main. Okay, last things last, you can get a lot of extra harmony fragments or harmony shards if you do the rehandle dungeon or normal and easy. And later on, once you get to T3, you can do things called challenge guardians and challenge abyss. Gives a lot of captured materials, especially if you're in T2. So I really want to emphasize that you really want to get to T3 as soon as possible, so you can start challenge guardians and challenge abyss when that comes out, so you can funnel all those catch-up materials into your ult. Just look at how many stones and harmony shards you get from doing that. Okay, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, guys.